this thing now. Core concept: the domain and range of the function. The domain is all the possible inputs of the function, the inputs that does not make a function undefined. The range are the result, the outputs. So from the graph, it's pretty easy, right? If the graph is like a finite, if the graph is for a finite region, if the graph is representing a finite region, then you can easily write down the domain and range from the graph. Now let's look at this one. You can locate the xy coordinates of these points, and they will tell you the domain and range. Like this one will be, if you look over here, this is -1, -2, -3, right? So you can write down this point as -3, -2. This point can be written as x is 1, y is 0, x is -1, sorry, y is 0. This one is x1, y2. This one is x1, 2, 3, y is 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So you locate these points now, the x coordinates. This is your domain. -3, -1, 1, 3. The set of all these x coordinates from these points on this graph, this will be called your domain. Now for question 2, if you see, we've been given a continuous graph, right? It's not just the points that we can locate and we can just say that the x coordinates of those points is representing the domain of this function. No, we've been given a region, like from there to there, right? So in this case, you have to look at the graph carefully, then define your input, which will be your domain as well. Okay, look at this one. The x is starting from this value. At this position, x is -2, and terminating over here, at this position, x is 3. These two values are also included in here, and every single value which is bigger than this portion and smaller than that portion, right? So I can say x is bigger than and equals to -2, and x is smaller than equals to 3. Now this is a compound inequality. You can combine it as this thing: x is bigger than equals to -2 and x is less than equals to 3. You have to be careful to see if those values are actually included in the region. So 3 is included and 2 is included. Otherwise it would have been something like x is just bigger than 2 and less than 3. In this case, those values are included, so we'll go with this thing. So this is how you define the domain if it's representing a region, okay? And this is how you define the domain if it's represented in the form of the points. Now the last thing from the exercise 3.1 is the identification of the independent and dependent variable. The independent variable is what you can pick by your own choice. Like if you have been given a function which is at y equals to x plus 1, this is what you can pick. This is what comes out as a result of what you picked here. For example, if I pick 0 here, that cannot be anything other than 1, right? And if I want this thing to be, let's say 3, this has to be 2. In other words, this thing is dependent on the input. If this the y wants a value of 3, he will have to beg Mr. X or the input to be 2. Otherwise, that cannot be 3. So it depends on this one, right? And that's what you've been given over here as well. If you look at the example, it says the amount of y, this question, the function y is -3x plus 12, etc., represent the amount of y in fluid ounces of juice remaining in a bottle after you take x gulps. Identify the independent and dependent variable. The amount of juice remaining depends on the number of gulps, right? Second thing is the domain is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. What is the range? The range comes out as a result of your domain, right? So we've been given the function as y equals to minus 3x plus 12. Let's get rid of that. Y equals to minus 3x plus 12. Okay, the inputs that we've been given are 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 0 gulp, 1 gulp, 2 gulps, 3 gulps, 4 gulps, the remaining amount of juice. When I took 0 gulp plus 12, the remaining amount of juice is 12. When I took 1 gulp, the remaining amount of juice will be that much. 2 gulps, the remaining amount of juice will be that much, and 3 gulps, the remaining amount of juice will be minus 9 plus 12, 3. You see, as you're taking more and more gulps, the amount of juice remaining keeps on decreasing until it's finished, nothing left. So the range that you got as a result of your input, for 0 we got 12, for 1 we got 9, for 2 we got 6, for 3 we got 3, for 4 we got 0. Now all of these values, which you can call your y coordinate, your output, the result of your inputs, this is what you call range. So the range will be 12, 9, 6, 3, 0. That's what you're going to call your range. Look at that, output y. That's what your range is. And that's about it for exercise 3.1, all the core concepts. And now you can practice exercise 3.1. Let me know in the comment section if you have any confusion. Subscribe to my channel and follow us on Facebook. Visit our website if you need any tutoring. Thank you.